Last time out to snap out of a shooting slump. Thomas in a low post. Thought he might have shuffled his feet.
Well, that was great.
It comes back to Horde. He'll launch. That's a three. And the rebound to Elijah Thomas.
So give Clemson's defense a lot of credit. Whether it's been late in the shot clock or early, they struggled on the offensive end.
Shondy Brown coming over to help. Danny Manning could play.
Okay, so I just gave you earlier today a great defensive stance by Clemson. Elijah Thomas stepping out. Well, which is why he shows so much promise. But at the end of the day, I think a little more maturity in his game would help him moving forward.
Basket +1 for Elijah Thomas.
Speaking of maturity, we talked about the fifth-year graduate seniors for Clemson, and here's one of them, Elijah Thomas. One of the reasons why there was so much optimism in this program, because you have all of this experience returning to your team, and Thomas just flexing again, showing off how strong he is inside, and Clemson has been strong on the offensive end of the floor tonight.
7 for Thomas. 22-7, Clemson on top. One thing the Tigers have done so far, they've kept Wake off the.
See now another great defensive stand, having Wake Forest shoot up against the end of the shot clock.
And Wake went out of bounds. We've seen that a few times already.
He wants to make sure he's supportive, but he's toughest probably on Brandon. But, of course, Brandon, great respect for his father as a man, but also as a player, as to what he's been able to do in the Wake Forest uniform.
Thomas has been aggressive on the Horde from the outside, short.
He actually got out there and knocked down more threes than a number of very good shooters, and he held that against us too.
And Elijah Thomas holding everything against Wake. He's got 9. He's outscored the Deacs by.
And instead of bringing the ball full court, this is what Brad Brunell wants to see from Elijah Thomas, catching the ball off of the teammates' dribble penetration, and then able to finish through contact above the rim.
Now Horde, off balance. It's been hard to get a good shot if you're Wake today.
Well, Elijah of the season had 23 versus Virginia back on January 22nd, and right now it's 16. And definitely in jeopardy of eclipsing that mark. Team, they really are, and that's where you look at Elijah Thomas, and you have to make sure that he knows how important he is to this team, and he needs to hopefully getting those silly fouls like he did when he tried to bring the ball full court and compare, not put himself in those, trying to establish Horde.
There is Horde against Amir Sims. Horde got gobbled up.
Teams thus far is turnovers to start the second half. Horde, instead of trying to get the shot off over top of Thomas, who does a great job helping. Right.
Mitchell picks it up. Blocked at the rim, but the putback is there by Sims.
And saving the basketball, leading to the breakout opportunity for Clemson.
Shondy Brown, it seems every Wake player in this half is trying to score through a double team.
Well, it seems that each and every one of them also is getting their shot blocked by Elijah Thomas, because every time someone penetrates, Thomas is coming over to help out. A great job there to be able to save.
Thomas was wide open. Now Reed finds him. Elijah Thomas with a grin that says what.
Didn't have opportunities to practice and missed a lot of practice time, but now rounding his way into shape and continues to block shots.
He's got 5 blocks. Meanwhile, Childress still. Thomas down low. Too easy.
And that's just great execution from Clemson. Wake Forest hasn't helped themselves with all the turnovers, continuing to give Clemson multiple opportunities on the offensive end of the floor.
Spin cycle, Thomas. Right. That's block number 7.
That's another block shot. You can't always, have your team making shots, but the effort, that's all you can ask for. Danny Manning has gotten it from his young team. They've just been that are basically saying, hey, look, you can go, and with the two-way contracts and the G League and all the opportunities to play professional basketball now, a lot of kids just flat out. What numbers does he have? What numbers are you saying? Because his numbers are not better than Peyton Manning's. His numbers are not better than Drew Brees.
I mean, he's right up there. Joe Montana's numbers, you feel Montana's the greatest.
I think that they have, when you look at Musius, you think about Jalen Horde, and you look at Wynn, they have players that are going to be good ACC players. But when they're playing against seniors and Marquise Reed didn't have to do as much for the Tigers, got the rest of it in this game.